Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Focal Online TV, where we bring you the day inside of news media. For today, I am your presenter, and I'm here along with my co-presenter.
My name is Jane Lindom Toba.
And Lyndon Topa is my co-presenter for today's daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So we are here to drill you through the top stories relating to our country, Liberia. This morning, we will look at our daily revision from our in here in studio. We have the New Dawn newspaper, the Daily Observer newspaper, the Front Page Africa newspaper, and the Independent Probe newspaper. So we encourage you to please stay with us as we go through this short break. When we get back with the news headline, the news in details. Thanks for watching.
Focal, Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV. With check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV. With check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Okay, welcome back, folks, to the daily edition of Inside Your Print Media. So, Lino, we begin from you for the news for today from Front Page Africa and Independent Pro.
All right, thank you for such a beautiful introductions on today. Uh, Coup scared in Sierra Leone post Liberia's on edge ahead of October's elections amid rampancies of military overthrow in the region. The surge of forceful extra-legal power seizures has raised concerns about political instability in West Africa, with Niger being the latest country, the latest country in the sub-Saharan region. That's I come in. Our sub-Saharan region. Sierra Leone, one of Liberia's closest neighbor, and stands at the brink of uncertainty, serving as a cautionary tale to Africa's oldest nations, Liberia, which is still grappling with the repercussions of military overthrow. Front Page Africa has seen a diplomatic report filed by the Liberian embassy to in Sierra Leone informing the Liberian government of the alleged coup plot in that country involving several military officers. This diplomatic report also stems from a press release issued by the Sierra Leone police disclosing that some senior military officers have been working to undermine the peace and tranquility of the state and had planned to unleash violence of the country. According to the press release, preliminary investigation has shown that these military officers plan to use purported peace protests between August 7 to 10 as a guise to unleash violent attacks against the state institution and peaceful citizens. These disturbing reports follow the controversial elections in Sierra Leone, where the incumbent president Julius Maada Bio won the presidential elections in the first round. The victory was greeted with local and international condemnations. As it stands, four of the 15 counties east of airports are now under military rule following a successful coup. The developments in Sierra Leone, the developments in Sierra Leone on the heels of Niger's military is alignment with Russia while distancing itself from France, its former colonial masters and longtime ally. Liberia, considered a dying child of the United Nations, now finds herself surrounded by unstable neighbors as Guinea is under military rule and Sierra Leone faces internal upheaval. As with Niger's military overthrow, he lamented that the incident which unfolded on Wednesday, July 26th, coinciding with the Liberian 176th independent anniversary, has raised concern over democratic governance, rule of law, peace across Africa. The government of Liberia firmly condemns this brazen and unconstitutional action by the armed forces of Niger as it undermines the democratic will of the people of Niger, who rightfully choose their leader through a democratic process, the Liberian government stated. Currently in the region, Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are all under military rule. Meanwhile, a Ukrainian official has accused Moscow of being behind the coup in Niger, describing it as a typical tactic employed by Russia. Mikhail Podolyak, an advisor of the Ukrainian president, asserted on a social media platform previously known as Twitter that Russia orchestrated the military coup in Niger to divert attention to take advantage of the situation and escalate the conflict. According, according to the Podolyak, Russia follows a global strategy of fostering instability to undermine the global security order. He emphasized the need to remove the claims associated with Russia President Putin instead Russia towards a political rebirth in order to ensure global rules and stability. The Crimean responded on Monday expressing serious concern over the situations in Niger following the coup. Why the majority of the world condemned the coup? Virginia Pogohidin, the head of a Wagner mercenary group with extensive interest in Africa, welcomed it. Crimean spokesperson Dmitry Peskov called for all parties in Niger to exercise restraint with swiftly restored legal order. Following Sierra Leone's recent controversial election, the region has been thrown into tumult with the arrest of military officers suspected of plotting a coup in Sierra Leone. The development comes in the heels of Niger military takeover and its alignment with Russia while distancing itself from France, its former colonial master's longtime ally. Liberia, considered a dying child of the United Nations, now finds herself surrounded by unstable nations. Still on the front page, Africa. Naomi, victim of brutality in viral social video, calls for assistance, says she almost committed suicide. Naomi Sikat, the victim of a brutal attack that gained attention on social media, has apparently broken her silence about her harrowing ordeal. In an exclusive interview with Lena Panoraman, she recounted the events leading up to the incident and revealed the extent of her injuries. According to Naomi, she connected with Stephen Jahad on social media and they met in March 2023. Stephen informed her that he was married but going through a divorce. But the woman he mentioned was not Naomi then. Yes, he expressed an interest in a serious relationship with no mentions of Vivian at that time. Naomi is still suffering from physical pain in her head, spinal cord, stomach, and eyes, has not sought medical treatment since the brutal beating. Recalling the dramatic incident, she says Stephen asked her to cook for him and his friend. But when she opened the door, Vivian backed in and started assaulting her. Vivian accused Vivian accused them of being watched on Facebook and seemed determined to harm Naomi. Unfortunately, Naomi managed to defend herself without further harm. During the attack, Vivian locked the door and took the keys, leaving Naomi trapped and unable to seek help. The lack of intervention and the severity of the situation left Naomi fearing for her life. Eventually, Stephen arrived and arranged for Naomi to return home. But upon her arrival, she discovered that Vivian had already spread false and derogatory information about
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Okay, folks, welcome back again to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So for today, I am your presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, and we will be usually useful information. Thanks to Kaylin Dontopa for the brilliant output from our news source from Pitch Africa. We'll be right back to you shortly. But as we commence from the daily Osaka newspaper. So we take a short break again to face some technical challenges we are facing. When we get back, we proceed with. Ayo, I do get driving in there when I'm driving.
we are watching right now.
MC Caro. want now or there, don't ask me. And I know say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set, don't ask me. And I know about it, don't ask me. I want now or there, don't ask me. And I know say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. I just wanna I don't wanna check my balance. I just want to do my thing and I just for CCP. He said Caro, I said Jack, I see something. What they nine, they see me. They probably wait for me. I only get 15 minutes. Let me play till the fire fini. Oh my God, I got big ball, I got good ball. Look at money not there, but I get love. Why you want? All the other niggas so back. Billy pump. I don't wanna hear no trash. Billy pump. Catch him, boy. See yourself. Catch him, boy. See yourself. Because we're still in La Bira. In La Bira. We're still in La Bira. I told ya, and I know about it, don't ask me. I want now or there, don't ask me. And I know say it, don't ask me. And I yeah it's set, don't ask me. And I know about it, don't ask me. I want now or there, don't ask me. And I know who said it, don't ask me.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV. With check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV. Bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV. The best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Welcome back again, folks. We apologize for our technical default here today in studio, and we are back again. I am your presenter, Greg Financipar, on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So for today, we will begin. Secondly, from Daily Observer newspaper, thanks to my co-presenter, K. Lyndon Topa, for the splendid news output from Front Page Africa. So we move over to the Daily Observer newspaper. Police in Bone County charge man at 25 years for allegedly killing motorcyclist. Police in Bone County charge man 25 years for allegedly killing motorcyclists. So we move over to the news in details. Police in Banga, Bone County have charged and sent to court a 25-year-old man for allegedly murdering a motorcyclist in the county. Suspect James Coley, according to the police, murdered survivor Camara for his motorcycle and took it away. Cole is said to have used a cutlass that almost beheaded Camara as they tussled over the motorcycle. According to police, Cole had earlier refused to cooperate with law enforcement officers until he was caught with the motorcycle in Negbala town where the incident occurred. Suspect Cole overpowered the deceased after a prolonged tussle over the motorcycle and inflicting a deep cutlass wound on Camara's neck in the process, said Fasu Sherif, the commander of Bone County Police Detachment. The suspect was arrested on July 31 with the stolen bike and had earlier refused to cooperate with the law enforcement officer after he had been identified as a suspect. Meanwhile, a 15-man coroner reported that Camara died due to a severe cut on the back of his neck. Elsewhere in Maryland, County police have charged and sent to court Calvin Sa, a 55-year-old man, for attempted murder and aggravated assault. According to the police, Sa attempted to murder 21-year-old Levi Wallace when he stabbed his victim on his shoulder, which left him with a serious body injury. During the investigation, Sai informed investigators that the victim, Wallace, approached him to request money. However, Sai said he responded that Wallace was too young to be begging for money. In response, the victim allegedly insulted Sai, leading him to instruct Wallace to leave his premises. As Wallace was in the process of departing from Sai's premises or property, an altercation ensued. Allegedly, Sai intentionally grabbed a cutlass and pursued Wallace, ultimately resulting in the victim stoning and sustaining a stab wound to his left arm. The police investigation finds subsequently Kevin Sai has acknowledged the allegation against him and has been formally charged. He is now set to face the trial following his arraignment in court, with the investigation report said. Cummings escaped key electoral forum amidst leadership. Cummings escapes key electoral forum amidst leadership. Alexander Cummings, a presidential candidate of the Collaboration Political Party (CPP), was notably absent from a crucial electoral forum convened by the National Election Commission (NEC) yesterday. Cummings' absence yesterday came after he had had a few hours before the meeting to publicly express his lack of confidence in the electoral body leadership. While the meeting, which had President George Weah and other prominent opposition leaders in attendance, was ongoing, Cummings was sharing photos of himself on social media, working while urging Liberians to exercise regularly. Let us work together into a new and healthy future. Fixing Liberia is also about keeping Liberians healthy. Regular exercise, especially walking, help us to keep us healthy, physically ready, and mentally strong. Cummings, who is one of the three front runners of the October 10 poll, said, even though the economic conditions are stressful, working regularly helps reduce stress, enable blood circulation, strengthens legs muscle, and has positive effects on the heart and bone health, especially as we age, he added. Cummings then threw out a challenge, calling on Liberians to join him every Wednesday for at least 30 to 40 minutes, saying, if you can do it daily, that is even better. Cummings, however, did not miss the meeting alone. His collaborating political parties did not send any high-profile figure, including his vice running mate. Notable politicians who attended were Senator Jeremiah Kuhn and Tawan Gonglo of the Liberia People's Party, among several others. Kuhn, who is running mate of former Vice President Joseph Mambuaka of the Unity Party, noted that his party's most important request is for the Commission to count the October 10 poll votes by electoral districts. We have few concern and we communicated that to the NEC. The Nima County Senator said, our concern is the announcement of results, and for the purpose of transparency, the result of the presidential election be given by electoral districts. Gonglo, a former Solicitor General from the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, noted that his party was cautioning the president and his government to make available money for the conduct of election on October 10 polls. The meeting with the electoral body was also called by the ECOWAS and UN mission and is a part of an ongoing dialogue initiated by the NEC to promote inclusive, credible, peaceful, and non-violent election, as enshrined in the Farmington River Declaration recently signed by registered political parties and independent aspirants. Deviator Brown Lasana, chairperson of the electoral body, noted that despite the conduct of the biometrics voter registration process, the election will be manually conducted, just as it was done in the past. While the Commission has transitioned to biometrics voter registration, the voting in the October 10th election will be done manually as it has been in the past, Lasana noted. While we strive to adapt the global phenomenon, technological advancements, the process will be done incrementally, she added. Lasana, however, promised the October election will be free, fair, and credible, and challenged politicians to work along with the electoral body to reduce the pre-election tensions. Meanwhile, Lasana has informed the public 27,000 duplicate records discovered during the voter registration process were created by 3,636 people who double registered. Let me clarify at this point that 27,000 duplicate records were created of 3,634 persons who registered more than once, meaning that number is multiple registrants because in the media there is some confusion, she said. Lasana clarity comes after the commission, while announcing the final voter registration figure in July, did not elaborate much on the 27,000 duplicate record. The commission was then announced a little over 2.4 million Liberians as the final voter registration figures. Lasana also announced that the commission applied extra efforts to investigate underage registrants to have them moved from the final voter roll. During the process, parents and guardians confirmed that their kids were underage and turned over their voter ID for removal from the final roll. At this point, we have received most of the funds required to conduct elections. Lasana noted, we are working with the government to provide the remaining funds. Meanwhile, the commission has announced August 15 as the launch of the Civic and Voter Registration Education CVE campaign for the October 10 elections. The commission and the campaign the commission noted is aimed to enhancing the political participation of eligible voters. We now move over to the New Dawn newspaper. As it relates to the news in details and the news headline. Liberian presidential candidates, including incumbent President George Manneh Weah, has signed a commitment before the Board of Commissioners. Liberian presidential candidate, including incumbent President George Manneh Weah, has signed a commitment before the Board of Commissioners. Liberian presidential candidate, including incumbent President George Manneh Weah, has signed a commitment before the Board of Commissioners of the National Elections Commission to conduct violence-free campaigns ahead of the October 10 elections. They penned the commitment Wednesday, August 2, 2023, during a day-long intensive and interactive forum attended by 19 presidential aspirants and delegates from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the United Nations on promoting peaceful elections in the country on the theme Building the Confidence of Presidential Candidates in the Working of NEC. He recalls that the Farmington Declaration, which they had earlier signed in Margibi County, is not just a piece of paper, but a solemn pledge to uphold democracy, peace, and inclusiveness. Mr. Weah further noted that together, through the document, they made a promise to the people of Liberia to create an environment free of violence for a transparent election, underscoring that they must therefore lead by example in ensuring the pending elections are transparent and fair. The president adds that by the singular act, they guarantee unrestricted rights to every citizen to exercise his or her franchise each day as they approach the October 10 general and presidential elections. Let us remember that the success of these elections doesn't surely rest on me or any single individuals. It requires the full and committed participation of all the citizens of Liberia and the support of our friendly partners, President Weah says, noting that it is as political leaders, their collective interest is well-being of Liberia must always remain. With this being said, we will now take a short break. When we get back, we'll move over to my colleague here, Lyndon Sokpa, who will summarize from Front Page Africa and the Independent Pool. But before we go, please don't forget today is Thursday and today is August 3. August 3, 2023. Today is Thursday, is the day that we still press forward. This whole week we've been talking about pushing forward and moving forward. So we had an issue that we started to discuss yesterday. But before we leave, we will try to summarize the issue and have a final say on the issues concerning the murder of citizen of district number 13. So please stay tuned, stay with us as we bring the information right to you. Thank you.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV. With check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV. Bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV. The best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Okay, folks, welcome back again to another delayed edition of Inside the Free Media. We are grateful that we are back live and we are broadcasting from Topo Village community along the Japanese highway. This is Focal TV, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. So, Kelly Nontopa, you are here for a conclusion of our daily edition of Inside the Media at your comments from Front Page Africa, and then you end up to Independent Pool. We say thanks to our technical team who are working in the back to ensure that we have a standard report being done this morning. Thanks
All
so
right.
much.
All right, thank you, Griffin and Sipa. We are very, very excited to be back. And thanks to our technical team who is at the back doing everything to ensure that we continue these editions of the program. God urged the people not to rush to judgment. He emphasized that violence was never acceptable, regardless of the circumstances. He also mentioned that Stephen had reported that Vivian had a history of such behavior in previous relationships. After Saki expressed worry if Vivian is not properly dealt with, she may pose a serious danger to others in the future. In conclusion, the incident involving Naomi and highlights the importance of addressing domestic violence and ensuring justice for the victim. The communities and authorities should work together to support victims and hold perpetrators accountable for their actions. Naomi, Naomi's courage in speaking out can serve as a catalyst for positive change in dealing with such sensitive decisions. This brings us to the closure of Front Page Africa. Over to the Independent Probe newspaper. LRA strengthens internal capacity to enhance revenue collections. LRA strengthens internal capacity to enhance revenue collection. The Liberia Revenue Authority has taken a significant step towards bolstering its revenue collections effort by conducting an extensive refresher training for staff with this enterprise design, qualitative insurance, result divisions, week-long training focused on reinforcing the internal capacity of ECWA staff to ensure enhanced performance and effectiveness in revenue collection processes. ECWA plays a critical role with the LRA responsible for developing standard operating procedures, monitoring departmental performance, and tracking accomplishment on a quarterly basis. The division is also entrusted with reviewing audit cases and providing actionable strategies to strengthen the LRA's operations and overall performance. The extensive training held this mark a vital milestone for the LRA as it sought to empower its staff with the necessary skills and knowledge to drive the growth within the organization. Gabriel Montgomery, LRA Deputy Commissioner General for Technical Affairs, expressed his appreciation to the participants for fully embracing the training sessions and for the commitment to the institution's advancement. He commended the lead trainers and consultant counselor Samuel Wu for accepting the responsibility of building the LRA full capacity to work efficiently. Councillor Wooden, meanwhile, expressed his gratitude to the LRA for affording him the opportunity to contribute his expertise and service to his country. He emphasized the significance of quality control in organizational effectiveness, stating that by instilling robust quality control measures, LRA can improve its revenue collection processes, streamline operations, and achieve greater overall efficiency. The ECWA training initiative represents a clear commitment by LRA to elevate its revenue collection practices with a focus on enhancing internal capabilities and strengthening the institution performance by investing in human capacity and partnering with experienced national consultants. The LRA continues to demonstrate its dedication to driving sustainable economic growth and prosperity. Also, the crucial of independent growth. Back to you, Refina, for the continuation of local daily.
So we have concluded from the input that on our local news here in Liberia, thanks for cooperating with us. We apologize for our technical defect. It is not that we can work things out in a sooner time. So this morning, before we leave studio, we had a training issues yesterday as it relates to the death of one of the citizens of Monrovia of Liberia and that of a citizen who resides in district number 13. So we had some issues where quality of our high-ranking people within the district leaders who we look up to. We called on Colinas Kwatopa who have already made a move. And then we called on some individuals, but we did not know that some of them had made a move. And we so apologize. And we are sending an appreciation note to Andy Chala Buble, Andy Buble Chala, sorry, for your magnificent output in the background and even the ones you pull out. The fact that Focal team went out, it was an amazing work. We want to say thank you, and we hope and pray that it will not just stay there. We will see justice because this is what the family wants. The guy is already dead, and the only thing that will put the family heart at peace is when they seek justice or when justice is being given to them. And so, for this reason, we add all of our voices together to call on all of the different aspirants. If you have been to the family, that's fine, but we encourage you. Never shall be.
Focal TV, bringing you innovation. Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focal.